As many people saw, towards the end of the fourth quarter of the divisional playoff matchup between the Bills and the Bengals, Stefon Diggs had it with Josh Allen, missing him when he was open, and he laid into him a bit on the sideline. Now before we continue, this isn't the first time that Diggs has showed his frustration towards Allen. A few weeks ago against the Dolphins, Diggs was open, but Allen didn't throw him the ball, and it ended up being incomplete, and Diggs let Allen know, "I'm open, man. Give me the fucking ball." You can see instantly after the play, he puts his hands up like, man, what the hell? And then right after, Dolphins defender Wilkins must have been trash talking Diggs, because Diggs a few seconds later pushes Wilkins in rage. I mean, Diggs must have been already pissed off because he didn't get thrown the ball when he was open, and he's just frustrated, and so he pushes him, and Wilkins also just kind of flopped. But on the sidelines, Diggs is still pissed off he didn't get the ball and how things transpired, and he really displays it. He takes his helmet and he slams it down in frustration. It's kind of funny. You gotta love a good helmet slam in the NFL, but this isn't the first time that Diggs has gotten pissed off and raged a little bit. Now there was quite a lot of plays throughout this game that led up to Diggs' rage, so let's look at them. This one right here, to me, it's the biggest one. It's 3rd and 4, Buffalo's first drive of the game, down 7-0 already, and Diggs is wide open, and Allen doesn't put it where it needs to be, and it's too far out for Diggs, and this could have been a touchdown catch. This could have changed the dynamic of the game, set the tone for the Bills, got them some momentum, but instead they punt, and Cincinnati scores another touchdown, and it's 14-0. And you can see for a second, Diggs looks back at Allen. He's like, put that in my hands. I'm open. It's a touchdown. And it's plays like this that make me question Allen as a playoff quarterback. I just made a video talking about the Bills' playoff experience the past few years, and it's mainly talking about Josh Allen, so you can go watch that. I won't get into that too much. But Josh Allen and the Bills couldn't beat the Chiefs the last 2 years, and they now can't even beat Cincinnati, not even make it close at home. And they barely beat the Dolphins, starting a 3rd-string quarterback. So just the Bills' playoff experiences the last few years have not been looking good. Now we're going to fast forward to one of the last plays in the 3rd quarter. It's 3rd and 2, and Buffalo's down 14. Buffalo really hasn't got anything going offensively, and they need a big break. Now this play isn't with Stefon Diggs, it's with Gabe Davis, but it's a good representation on what Josh Allen was doing all now and how he's been struggling in the playoffs and how he really struggled against the Bengals. He launches it deep and Gabe Davis is open, but Gabe Davis is underthrown and has to come back to the ball and slow down, and it ends up being incomplete. Now this is another touchdown pass that Josh Allen doesn't throw in the right spot, and it costs them. If you watch, Gabe Davis is gone if this is thrown in the right spot, and maybe he gets caught by the safety there, but most likely not, and it's just underthrown. You can see him hold up and try to come back to the ball, slow his pace. All these things lead to the pass being incomplete, and this is the same thing that happened to Stefon Diggs in the first quarter. Here the ball's way underthrown. It should have been thrown farther out, and this is a touchdown all the way. And with Stefon Diggs in the first quarter, the ball's totally overthrown. If it's brought down a little bit, that Stefon Diggs is gone for a touchdown. That's 2 touchdowns there Josh Allen can't find. Now fast forward to the 4th quarter. It's 4th and 6, 7.5 minutes left. Bills are down by 17. They need a touchdown, but right now they need a first down. And for some reason, when Allen's on a 4th down in the red zone, he tends to always look end zone instead of just trying to pick up the first down and continue the drive. Now the Bills aren't 100% out of this game, but if they don't get this, it's not looking very good for him. Now it kind of looked that he had number 11 at the 10-yard line for the first down, but he goes end zone and it's incomplete, but you can see Stefon Diggs right there, number 14, kind of putting his hands up like he was open, and he was kind of open in the end zone there. No one's really by him. If he comes to a ball there, he probably could have made that catch, and Allen doesn't find him. And he didn't find him on a few other plays before that, and he's pissed off. The story of the game was that the Bengals defense would eventually get to Allen because he couldn't find his wide receivers when they were open, or at least get the ball in their hands when he made the throws, and it was a real struggle, and the Bills only scored 1 touchdown this whole game, which is unbelievable for their offense at home. And then on the sideline, Diggs is just laying into Allen. He's yelling at him. He's like saying, "I was open. Throw me the ball, man." And I don't blame him. If you're a wide receiver and you're open and your quarterback's not getting you the ball in a playoff game and you lose, That's gotta suck. It's kind of funny though, Allen's response is just to keep looking down, not even look up or acknowledge Diggs, which I do understand because you probably don't want to get in a heated debate on the sidelines, and Allen probably also does know that he messed up and the game was kind of his fault because he couldn't find his wide receiver, so he probably feels bad and just doesn't want to talk about it, and he's molding and he just wants to be alone. So I understand why Diggs would yell at him because he's like, I was open, and I understand why Allen would just kind of sit there and not acknowledge it because he's like, yeah man, I know, I don't want to get into this right now. So I understand both sides. Now after the game, people were heavily criticizing Diggs, and he tweeted, want me to be okay with losing? Nah. And I like this tweet. I think I'm on the side that Diggs was okay to be mad there. It was alright for him to be pissed off because Allen let the team down, and it's okay to show your frustration when, you know, it's not like they hate each other or he probably wasn't saying anything bad. They both wanted to win, and Allen didn't perform, and Diggs was just frustrated about it. And then people kept coming at Diggs, and he said, want me to be okay with our level of play when it's not up to standard? Nah. Which I like how he keeps going nah at the end of his tweets, but again, he just kind of calls out the whole Bills team, especially Josh Allen, saying Allen's level of play wasn't up to standard, and it wasn't, so it's okay kind of calling him out because he's defending himself because people were frustrated that he was mad at the sidelines and yelling at Allen, so I understand him saying that. I mean, it's probably best just to turn your phone off after the loss because people are just going to be assholes no matter what. There's always going to be haters, but it's easier said than done. You probably want to know what people are thinking or saying and defend yourself. It's just a human way. You want to defend yourself. And then Diggs' last tweet on the situation, it's easy to criticize my reaction more than the result, which is true. No one really paid attention probably during the game that Diggs was open a ton or Allen kept missing throws. They probably just like, oh, the Bengals are just shutting them down, or the Bengals are playing so good, and then they see Diggs yelling at Allen at the end of the game. They're like, oh, Diggs is a terrible teammate, blah blah blah. I mean, people just take things out of context as well. So if you want more on the Bills and how big this loss was to Allen and the whole Bills organization and team, and if they're ever be able to make it to the AFC Championship again in the near future because of the Bengals and the Chiefs, I made a video on it. You can just go look at my most recent video, and that's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoy my content, I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and once again, thanks for watching.